Hi friends, today's pick a card reading is all about what career path will lead you to your dream life. What if I told you that the career path leading to your dream life is already unfolding for you? We are going to uncover not just what you're meant to do, but how it leads directly to wealth, freedom, and the lifestyle that you've been dreaming of. If you are new to pick a card readings, here's how it works. The first thing that you're going to do here is you're going to pick the pile or the crystal that you are the most intuitively drawn to. So today we actually have all rose quartz, but just in different forms. So with pile 1 here, we have a rose quartz Palmstone. With pile 2, we have a rose quartz sphere. With pile 3, we have a rose quartz point, and with pile 4 we have a rose quartz bracelet. You can pick one pile, you can choose more than one pile, or you can choose all of them. It is totally up to you, but when you're ready, go to the description of this video, find the timestamp that is linked to your pile, and then you can skip ahead to your reading. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, friends. It is such an honor and a privilege, and I will see you on the inside. Hi pile 1, hey friends, welcome to your reading. So let's talk about the career path itself. We'll talk about what the path looks like and the work that you're meant to do. So we have the sun here, and I absolutely love this card because it symbolizes things like radiance, joy, visibility, and in the context of your career, I feel like this represents you having very purpose-driven work. So your path is about shining authentically and being seen and recognized. I think that you would do well with any career where enthusiasm and positivity and self-expression uplift other people. So for example, maybe some of you here would be great motivational speakers who turn your personal experiences into teachings that inspire large audiences. Or maybe some of you here want to be content creators or influencers whose authentic presence naturally attracts followers and opportunities. Maybe some of you here would be excellent at being a teacher or a children's educator who brings warmth and joy into their work environment. We also have faith in your dreams, waxing crescent moon. So maybe your dream path won't be obvious or easy at first. Maybe it requires things like persistence and trusting before the results show. Maybe you're going to be in a career where patience and consistency and long-term vision really do bring rewards. Like maybe some of you here would be great authors. Maybe you're an aspiring author who writes for years before finally landing a book deal that completely changes your life. Or maybe some of you here are small business owners who start selling handmade products on Etsy and you slowly grow into a full-scale brand. Maybe some of you here would do really well at being a filmmaker or an artist who continues to create even without early recognition, and eventually you gain acclaim and prestige in your field. Next, let's talk about any available opportunities or turning points. Let's talk about the key events, offers, or breakthroughs that you will find along the path. We have the 10 of Inspiration in reverse here. This is the 10 of Wands in reverse. So this talks about releasing burdens, delegating responsibilities, and choosing the energy of sustainability over burnout. So the turning point here comes when you stop overworking or carrying everything by yourself. Maybe some of you here are corporate workers who leave some sort of draining job to start freelancing or creating more freedom and balance for yourself. Maybe some of you here would be great at being a manager who learns to delegate tasks or free up time to focus on leadership and growth. Maybe some of you here are entrepreneurs who restructure their business to scale without exhaustion. We also have the teacher, Jupiter, and it says to know is to grow. Pile 1, you are naturally knowledgeable, intelligent, growth-oriented, trustable, understanding, communicative, compassionate, prosperous, social, inspired, self-aware, generous, considerate, and virtuous. So I feel like you're going to find the most growth through things like learning and mentorship and teaching others. Maybe opportunities will come from studying or sharing knowledge or stepping into a teaching or a mentoring role. Maybe some of you here are coaches or course creators who monetize your experience by teaching others who maybe are just a few steps behind you. Or maybe some of you here are graduate students who become a professor and you build a career in academia. Maybe some of you here are tech workers who transition into consulting or training, or you guide others in the industry in some way. Next, let's talk about the wealth and rewards. Let's talk about how money flows in through this career and what type of abundance you can expect. We have the 2 of Materials here, and this is the 2 of Pentacles. So pile one, I am feeling multiple income streams for you, flexibility, balance. I wonder if your money is going to come from managing more than one avenue. So again, side hustles, investments, or creating passive income in some way. Maybe some of you here have a full-time job plus a profitable side hustle that eventually outgrows your 9 to 5. Maybe some of you here are freelancers who balance multiple clients or projects at once. Maybe some of you here are business owners who diversify into digital products or services or investments. We also have Venus, beloved. So this represents abundance through beauty, through art, through love, and through relationships. Your rewards are going to flow from what's pleasurable to you, what feels creative to you, and what feels heart-centered to you. For example, maybe some of you here are fashion designers who have a brand who embodies beauty and you attract loyal customers. Maybe some of you here are relationship coaches who help people find love and build a lucrative practice around that. Maybe some of you here are lifestyle YouTubers who share beauty or home or self-care in their content and you attract sponsorships that are aligned. Next, let's talk about the dream life connection. Let's talk about the lifestyle that this career funds and the why and how it aligns with your dream version of yourself. So we have the Muse of Emotions here, and this is the King of Cups. So this is all about emotional mastery. It's all about stability, and it's about leadership in a compassionate way. Your dream life is going to be one of emotional balance and creative fulfillment and supportive relationships. Maybe some of you here would be excellent at being a therapist who builds a private practice and you earn well while helping other people to heal. Maybe some of you here are film directors who channel this deep emotional storytelling into a successful career. Maybe some of you here are leaders in a nonprofit who make a big impact while also securing financial stability for yourself. We also have Gratitude, Pink Rose, and this is Gemini energy. Such a gorgeous flower here. So with this, I feel like your dream life is going to be filled with appreciation, again with love, and with maybe even like simple luxuries. Like, I feel like you'll be fulfilled not only by wealth, but by the richness of your relationships and the experiences around you. Maybe you're somebody who travels the world with your family and you're grateful to work remotely while you get to explore. Maybe some of you here are homeowners who create a warm, abundant space to host loved ones. Maybe some of you here are entrepreneurs who donate to causes that you care about and you feel fulfilled by giving back. Let's get some additional info here. We have Simplify, clearing away what you don't need. So your dream path is going to require you to declutter things like distractions or limiting beliefs or overcommitment, and really choosing quality over quantity is what I'm feeling here. Your abundance is going to come faster when you focus on fewer, more aligned goals. So maybe some of you here are creatives who drop side jobs to fully pursue your art, and it leads you to real success. Maybe some of you here are corporate workers who cut unnecessary expenses and build wealth by simplifying. Maybe some of you here are business owners who streamline your offerings into one signature program or product, and it just takes off. Okay, I would love to do a book divination from the book Less is More, 101 Ways to Simplify Your Life by Dominique Bertolucci. I'll have this linked for you in the description if you feel called to check it out. It's one of my favorite books. But let's find out what else pile one needs to know for their highest and best good. Okay, enjoy the ride. If, despite your efforts, you have failed to achieve a goal you set, don't be too hard on yourself. Remind yourself that what will matter at the end of your life isn't how many things you've achieved, but how much you enjoyed the things you did. It is good to have an end to journey toward, but it is the journey that matters in the end. Ernest Hemingway. Wow. So pile one, this is all about you enjoying the process, enjoying the ride. I know that this is probably my pile that is very ambitious with their goals and you want to tack things off, you want to cross things off the list, but this is your reminder to have more fun, have more excitement, and tap into the things that you love, tap into the things that bring you joy, because that is what attracts more abundance. Love is a vibration that is very much aligned with more abundance, more wealth, more freedom, more opportunities. So keep following your bliss is what I'm feeling here, pile one. Let's roll some astro dice, find out more about Pile 1's career path that'll lead you to your dream life. Okay, so we have Sun in the 10th house here. So your dream career path is, again, all about visibility. Like when we spoke about that with the Sun here, I feel like this is all about leadership, about being recognized for what you contribute. You have this very unique contribution that you bring to the table, Pile 1. And so you thrive where your talents are in the spotlight and where you can build a lasting legacy. So again, I really do feel like many of you here are going to be entrepreneurs or creative business owners where you lead your own venture and your own personal vision drives the success. Maybe some of you here are going to be a public figure or an influencer or maybe a performer. I can see some of you here having careers in media or YouTube or speaking or the arts where your presence and your voice inspires others. I also see many of you here being a leader in a field of expertise, right? So maybe like a CEO or a director or a high level professional like real estate, or design or consulting, anywhere that you're seen as an authority. I just feel like the key here is that your dream life is going to unfold when your career puts you at the center stage, not behind the scenes. So thank you so much, friends. Remember that your dream life is not separate from your career path. It is being built step by step through the opportunities and the choices that you're stepping into right now. Let me know which pile you chose and what resonated most in the comments. I absolutely love hearing your stories and connecting with you all in the comments, friends. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who is in need of encouragement today. And if you feel like going deeper, I've got my private readings, my online shop, and my podcast all linked for you below in the description of this video. I am so honored to be connected with each and every one of you friends here. I'm sending you lots of love, Tidal fam, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, friends. Love y'all. Hi, Pile 2. Hey, friends. Welcome to your reading. So let's talk about the career path itself. We'll talk about what the career path looks like and the work that you're meant to do. We have the Two of Emotions here, and this is the Two of Cups. So this is all about partnership. It's all about collaboration and mutual support. I feel like your career path is going to be built on strong connections. Think things like joint ventures, client relationships, or even partnerships where energy is equally exchanged in some way. I feel like you're probably going to be drawn to work that feels heart-centered and that has a collaborative approach to it. So maybe some of you here want to be therapists or coaches who build one-on-one relationships with people and you help them transform their lives. Maybe some of you here are a co-founder of a business who thrives because of the synergy with their partner. Or maybe some of you here are wedding planners, or you have a relationship-focused career like a counselor or a matchmaker, something that's rooted in bringing people together. I can also see you being like a networker of some sort. We have step out of your comfort zone, North Node. So I feel like this path is going to push you into some uncharted territory. I feel like you're going to need courage to step into things like leadership and visibility, or maybe a role that stretches your identity in some way. Maybe you're a shy artist who finally launches your art publicly and you step into visibility. Or maybe some of you here are healers who leave a safe corporate job to start their own practice. Maybe some of you here are people who move abroad for work and you expand horizons beyond what you thought was possible. Next, let's talk about the available opportunities and turning points. We'll talk about the key events, offers, or breakthroughs along your path to look out for. So we have the Eight of Materials here. This is the Eight of Pentacles. So this is all about skill mastery. It's all about apprenticeship and consistent growth. I feel like your opportunities are going to show up when you commit to honing your craft. Maybe some of you here are graphic designers who land big contracts after steadily building a strong portfolio. Or maybe some of you here are musicians who practice daily and eventually you break through to a larger audience. Maybe some of you here are coders who become an expert in a niche language and you get hired for specialized high-paying roles. We also have the Artist, Venus, and it says, I create my vision. So pile 2, you're naturally creative, a visionary, imaginative, idealistic, connective, harmonious, passionate, receptive, reverent, and spiritual. So I feel like your breakthroughs are going to come from fully embracing your creativity, fully embracing things like beauty, really allowing yourself to be original in your expression. I feel like your success is tied to your unique vision, not just skill. Like maybe you're an interior designer whose signature style becomes recognizable and very much sought after. Or maybe some of you here are YouTubers who share your unique creative perspective and you build a brand. Maybe some of you here are painters or photographers or filmmakers whose art catches the attention of collectors or clients or festivals. Next, let's talk about the wealth and rewards. We'll talk about how money will flow in through this career and what type of abundance you can expect. We have justice here, and so wealth is going to flow through things like integrity, fairness, maybe even contracts and agreements. I wonder if some of you here would be drawn to careers that are tied to law or fairness or contracts or anything else that has to do with ethics, or maybe even simply being compensated fairly for your true worth. I can see some of you here being like a lawyer or a mediator who builds a reputation for fairness and you earn well. Maybe some of you here could be business owners who gain wealth by creating very transparent, ethical practices that attract loyal clients. Maybe some of you here are freelancers who masters contracts and you finally charge the rates that you're worth. We also have Aries, act. So money and success are going to come when you take initiative and when you take the lead on something. Aries energy is all about making bold moves. It's all about risk taking. It's about being the first to act. I wonder if maybe some of you here would be drawn to be like a startup founder who jumps in and you launch before everything is perfect. Or maybe some of you here are consultants who carve out a new niche by boldly pitching yourself. Maybe some of you here are influencers who set trends instead of following them and you earn through sponsorships. Next, let's talk about the dream life connection. We'll talk about the lifestyle that this career funds and the why and how it aligns with your dream version of yourself. So we have the Seven of Voices in reverse here. This is the Seven of Swords in reverse. So this is all about you living authentically and free from hiding or maybe even like imposter syndrome. I feel like your dream life is about honesty and transparency and dropping the masks that maybe you once wore to fit in. Maybe you're somebody who leaves behind some sort of fake corporate persona to live as a full-time creative. Maybe some of you here are business owners who thrive after dropping shady business tactics that you've heard from other people and you just focus on providing true service. Maybe some of you here are artists who openly share about your identity, maybe gender or culture or values, and you build a supportive audience. We also have cleansing. This one says lemon. So I feel like your lifestyle is going to be centered on fresh energy. It's going to be centered on things like mental clarity and communication. This is all about travel and learning and social connection by playing big roles as well. Maybe you're somebody who runs a location independent online business where you live a very like clean and light lifestyle. Or maybe you're a podcaster who uses communication skills to create influence and income. Or maybe some of you here are writers who build a dream life filled with travel or curiosity or networking. Let's get some additional info here. We have pink fruit, realizing your dreams. So I feel like this confirms that this path is going to lead to you actualizing the vision that you've probably held for a very long time now. I feel like your dreams aren't just fantasies, they're actually becoming tangible reality when you commit. Maybe some of you here are aspiring authors who see your book published and thriving. Maybe some of you here consider yourself to be small creators whose brands grow into a full-fledged career. Maybe you're a dreamer who moves into the dream city or the dream home that you once thought was too big for you. So let's get a book divination. I'll have this linked for you in the description if you want to check it out. But what else does pile 2 need to know? This one says, do what you want. It's easy to fill your time with all the things you think you should be doing, but unless you make time for the things you want to be doing and all you're really doing is wasting time. Of course, there are things in life that you have to do, but as soon as they're done, spend your time doing what you want. He who does not get fun and enjoyment out of every day needs to reorganize his life. George M. Adams. Yeah, so I wonder if this is all about you also like putting your blinders on, putting that focus on, and not really listening to the opinions or the shoulds or the rules or the guidelines that other people have placed upon you. I think this is about you tapping into what lights you up, right? At a heart level, at a soul level. This is about you taking action on your passions, doing things that feel like aligned for you. That's the best way I can put it, I guess. So let's get some more info. Let's roll some astro dice. So we have Mercury in the second house. Your dream life career path is tied to communication and ideas and the intellect, being directly connected to how you make money and how you build stability. So I feel like your career is going to thrive when you use your voice and your mind, or maybe even like writing or communication skills in any way to create more value and more income. So right off the bat, I'm thinking content creator, writers, YouTubers, really turning your ideas or teaching or storytelling into income streams. Things like marketing or sales or copywriting, those could be things that are aligned with Mercury in the second house here, really using persuasion and strategy and communication to generate financial growth. Again, I can also see things like teaching or coaching or consulting, really sharing knowledge and insights to help other people while you earn from your expertise. So I feel like the key here is that your words and your mind are your currency. And once you start to embody that, I feel like it's just going to be a piece of cake after that. So super exciting. Thank you so much, friends. Remember that your dream life isn't separate from your career path. It is something that's being built step by step through the opportunities and the choices that you're stepping into right now. Let me know which pile you chose and what resonated most in the comments. I love hearing your stories, friends. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs encouragement. If you feel like going deeper, I've got my private readings, my online shop, and my podcast all linked for you below in the description of this video. I am so honored to be connected with each and every one of you friends here. I'm sending you lots of love, Tidal fam. I will see you on the next video. Bye, friends. Love y'all. Hi, pile 3. Hey, friends. Welcome to your reading. Let's talk about the career path itself. We'll talk about what the path looks like and the work that you're meant to do. So we have the Knight of Materials here, and this is the Knight of Pentacles. This is all about making progress in a very steady, methodical, and responsible way. So your path is about commitment and consistency in building wealth, slowly but surely. And I feel like practical work where things like reliability and patience and persistence pay off, that is going to be kind of like your sweet spot. So maybe some of you here want to be an accountant or a financial planner who steadily grows a client base over years. Or maybe some of you here are drawn to being a farmer or an herbalist or a sustainability worker whose work requires diligence and long-term care. Maybe some of you here would rather be a software designer who builds skills step by step and eventually you create a stable, high-paying career. We also have Nothing Is Yet Set in Stone, Mutable Moon. So pile 3, I feel like your path is flexible and adaptable. Things can change depending on choices. And so I feel like your career direction isn't rigid, but it evolves with growth. And I feel like you're meant to stay open to pivots rather than locking into one safe track too soon. So maybe you're somebody who starts in journalism and then you shift to digital marketing and then you end up thriving as a copywriter. Or maybe some of you here are students who change majors multiple times before finding their dream career. Maybe you're a person who freelances in different industries before you land the one that clicks. Next, let's talk about any available opportunities and turning points. We'll talk about the key events, offers, or breakthroughs that you can look out for along your path. So we have the Hierophant in reverse here, and this is all about breaking away from tradition. It's about leaving behind any sort of rigid structures and questioning old systems. So I feel like turning points are going to happen for you when you step away from the rules and you create your own method or career or lifestyle. Maybe some of you here are corporate workers who quit to freelance full time. Or maybe some of you here are spiritual seekers who leave organized religions to become an independent teacher or a mentor. Maybe some of you here are educators who reject traditional schooling and you build an online course empire. We also have the Communicator, Mercury, words have power. So pile 3, you are naturally truthful, outspoken, flexible, clear, quick, relatable, friendly, intelligent, open-minded, intuitive, psychological, discriminating, informed, and articulate. So with this, I feel like you're obviously a natural communicator, pile 3. I feel like your breakthroughs are going to come through communication, things like writing, speaking, teaching, being in the media, marketing. Anything where you use your voice and your words as tools to open doors. Maybe some of you here are podcasters whose authentic voice builds a loyal audience, Or maybe some of you here are writers who publish blogs or books and you gain recognition. Maybe some of you here are social media strategists who craft compelling brand messages. Next, let's talk about the wealth and rewards. We'll talk about how money is going to flow to you in this career and what type of abundance you can expect. We have the Four of Inspiration here, and this is the Four of Wands. So this is all about stability, it's all about celebration. It could talk about community and meeting some major milestones. So I feel like wealth is going to flow through building networks and creating supportive communities and hitting big milestones, things like publishing or launching or graduating. Maybe some of you here want to be wedding planners or event organizers who thrive on celebrations. Or maybe some of you here are community-centered entrepreneurs who profit from creating spaces where people gather. Maybe a yoga studio or co-working or retreats. Maybe some of you here are digital creators who build a supportive online community that also brings you consistent income as well. We also have Ascendant, Entrance. So I feel like your success is going to come through visibility and through personal branding. Your wealth is going to increase when you enter the room boldly and when you show up authentically. So maybe some of you here are thought leaders who create a recognizable personal brand through speaking engagements. Maybe some of you here are influencers whose face and name become tied to your business. Maybe some of you here are consultants whose reputation is your calling card and it opens doors to lucrative contracts. Next, let's talk about the dream life connection. We'll talk about the lifestyle that this career funds and the why and how it aligns with your dream version of yourself. So we have the Seven of Inspiration here, and this is the Seven of Wands. So this is all about a lifestyle where you can stand tall, where you can defend your vision, and where you can live with confidence. Your dream life means being respected for your persistence and your courage and not needing to blend in. Maybe some of you here are activists who build careers in advocacy and you create real change in the world. Maybe some of you here are creative entrepreneurs who set trends and stand apart from your competitors. Maybe some of you here are spiritual teachers whose dream life is about leading while staying true to your beliefs. We also have Happiness. This one says Marjoram, and this is Gemini energy. So your dream life is full of joy. It's full of connection, it's full of laughter, and it's full of mental stimulation. Your lifestyle includes freedom of expression, social richness, and this lighthearted fun. Maybe some of you here find that you're going to be like a nomadic entrepreneur who travels the world and you work online while you meet people everywhere. Or maybe you're a media host whose career funds a buzzing social lifestyle. Maybe some of you here are writers who balance financial stability with freedom to live a playful, curious life. Let's get some additional info here. We have Rainbow Boundary. This one says protecting your true self. So your success and your happiness is going to depend on your boundaries. This is all about you protecting your energy, saying no, and really staying aligned with your true values, because this is the key to sustaining your abundance, is what I'm feeling. Pile 3. Maybe some of you here set clear boundaries with your clients so that you don't fall into burnout. Or maybe you're a freelancer who learns to decline underpaying jobs and you attract premium clients who actually value your worth and your time and your energy. Maybe some of you here are artists who refuse to dilute their style for mass appeal, where you keep your work as authentic as possible. Let's get a book divination. This is from the book Less is More. I will have this linked for you in the description if you feel called. Let's get more info for pile 3. Okay, get rid of it. If you buy something and it turns out not to be suitable, return it. If you can't return it, sell it. And if you can't sell it, give it away. The only thing worse than wasting your money on an erroneous purchase is having it lying around continually reminding you of your mistake. Hanging on to a bad buy will not redeem the purchase. Terence Conran. I feel like this could also speak to, like, obviously physically clearing your space, clutter clearing, making sure that you have better energy flowing in your home and in your space, or maybe in your office space. But also I'm thinking about like what beliefs or patterns or kind of like shadows do you feel like you need to release before you step into this new era? So think about maybe the people, the places, or the experiences that are draining your energy and they're no longer serving your highest good. What do you need to get rid of on your way to the top is what I'm feeling here. Let's also roll some astro dice. We have Neptune in the 10th house. So your dream career path is one where your imagination and your intuition and your compassion guide your public role. I feel like this is going to be a career with a visionary or a creative or some sort of healing quality where you're meant to inspire or uplift others. So maybe some of you here work in the creative arts or media, things like film, photography, music, writing, or even content creation where you can channel your vision and storytelling to move people emotionally. Maybe this looks like healing or spiritual professions, things like energy work or therapy or holistic healing or yoga, maybe spiritual guidance, things where you can offer your compassion and your guidance. I'm also feeling humanitarian and service-oriented work, things like nonprofit leadership, activism, social projects that can really give a voice to the vulnerable and create collective change. So thank you so much, Pile 3. Remember that your dream life isn't separate from your career path. It's being built step by step through the opportunities and the choices that you're stepping into right now. Let me know which pile you chose and what resonated most in the comments. I love connecting with you all and hearing your stories, friends. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who is in need of encouragement today. If you feel like going deeper, I've got my private readings, my online shop, and my podcast all linked for you below in the description of this video. I'm so honored to be connected with each and every one of you friends here. I'm sending you lots of love, Tidal fam. I will see you on the next video. Bye, friends. Love y'all. Hi, Pile 4. Hey, friends. Welcome to your reading. Let's talk about the career path itself. We'll talk about what the path looks like and the work that you're meant to do. We have the Two of Inspiration here, and this is the Two of Wands. This is all about having a big vision. It's about planning. It's about having this global perspective. And so I feel like your career isn't going to be something small and local. It's going to involve expansion and taking calculated risks and really aiming beyond what's comfortable. You are here to be a visionary, not a follower, Pile 4. Maybe some of you here are online entrepreneurs who start a YouTube channel or an online business and it expands globally and you attract clients or viewers from all over the world. Maybe some of you here are strategists or consultants who help other people plan their own next big move. Like maybe you're a brand consultant who maps out campaigns for other people. These are just a couple examples here. If you don't hear like what you want to do in any of these examples, just know that please follow your heart, follow whatever it is that you're drawn to creatively and, you know, at a soul level. But I just like to throw out some fun examples so we have things to play with here. Maybe some of you here want to be someone who works in travel or like international business, or even having a remote career where you can maybe build bridges between cultures or markets. We also have Believe in the Impossible, Blue Moon. So this oracle card really amplifies that once in a lifetime vibe. So I feel like the career path that you're going to be on is rare. It's probably unusual and something maybe you didn't even think was really possible just yet. Maybe other people have doubted it, but your dream requires chasing the extraordinary. Maybe you're someone who thinks that you'll never get paid for your art until a publishing deal or a viral post or a patron changes everything for you. Maybe you're a person in a small town who dreams of working for a global company and you land a remote role with a big tech firm where you are. Or maybe you get to live in some other place that you really want to live in, but you get to work remotely is what I'm feeling. Maybe some of you here are people who were told that they couldn't make a living as like a healer or a coach, but then you end up having some sort of full online practice. So I just feel like there are so many miracles about, like I keep hearing miracles abound, possibilities are endless. Don't stop shooting higher than what you originally like planned for is what I'm feeling here, Pile 4. Now, let's talk about the available opportunities and the turning points. We'll talk about the key events, the offers, and the breakthroughs that you can find along your path. We have the Five of Voices here, and this is the Five of Swords. So I feel like breakthroughs often arrive disguised as conflict or endings or losses, but this card shows you that you may have to walk away from competitive or draining environments, and that becomes the doorway to your freedom. Maybe some of you here leave a toxic 9-to-5 where you were constantly clashing with a boss, which pushed you into starting your own business. Or maybe some of you here end a partnership that was more about ego than collaboration, and it frees you up to work with the people who actually align with your vision and your energy. Maybe some of you here were laid off in the past, which felt very defeating at first, but later it became the catalyst for you pursuing your true calling. Next, we have the administrator. We have Saturn, and it says, I walk with a foot both in the earthly and spiritual realms. So Pal 4, you are naturally practical, grounded, persevering, wise, dedicated, strong, purposeful, leading, organized, structured, confident, strategic, assertive, disciplined, humanistic, and moral. So Saturn as a planet says that when you step into true responsibility and authority, that is when the turning point happens here. So like maybe you will be tested with discipline or structure or managing both earthly tasks, things like money and schedules, with your spiritual alignment as well. Maybe you land a leadership role and you have to learn how to manage a team with fairness instead of fear. Maybe some of you here commit to a publishing schedule or a client calendar or a study program that requires consistent effort, and this discipline unlocks your recognition. Maybe some of you here are balancing a career that serves both practical needs, income and stability, and things like soul work, like your purpose and your calling. Next, let's talk about the wealth and the rewards. Let's talk about how money will flow into you through this career and what type of abundance you can expect. So we have the world cosmos, and this is the world. So this is the card of completion. It's about mastery, recognition, and having this global reach. Again, I don't feel like your work is going to be hidden, Pal 4. It's going to be something that spreads widely and it leaves a legacy. I feel like this often connects to things like travel, teaching, sharing with a worldwide audience again. Maybe you're a writer who finishes your book and it reaches international readers. Maybe you're somebody who builds a client base globally through social media. Maybe you're a professional who reaches a level of mastery where you're invited to speak or teach or showcase your work internationally. We also have 6th house sustainability. So with this, I feel like your wealth isn't just a flash in the pan. It's going to come through daily habits, through things like service, through things like systems that feel sustainable. So this is very much steady, reliable abundance that's built through consistency. Maybe some of you here, for example, are wellness coaches who build recurring income through monthly memberships or programs. Or maybe some of you here are creators who earn steady money through Patreon or subscription models. Maybe some of you here are professionals who develop repeatable systems in their business where you create reliable long-term income. Next, let's talk about your dream life connection. We'll talk about the lifestyle that this career funds and the why and how it aligns with your dream version of yourself. So we have the Queen of Voices in reverse here. This is the Queen of Swords in reverse. So your dream life is going to free you from the need to justify or over-explain yourself. With this, there's no more carrying old criticism or silencing your truth. You are actually able to be living without shame and judgment or overthinking about what other people think. This is you leaving behind the corporate mask and finally living in alignment with your authentic self. So maybe this is you leaving behind the corporate mask and finally living in alignment with your authentic self. Or maybe this is you moving into a lifestyle where you set your own rules, where you work from home or you travel or you do some sort of creative work. Maybe this is you letting go of self-doubt and letting go of that feeling about being too much or too ambitious, and instead you thrive in it. We also have Wisdom, Bay, and then we have Leo energy here. So I feel like your dream life is filled with boldness, it's filled with joy, and it's filled with this radiant leadership, Pile 4. Leo energy means that you shine and you express yourself and you inspire others by living authentically. Maybe some of you here want to become a thought leader or an influencer who inspires other people with wisdom. Maybe some of you here want to live a lifestyle where play and creativity and joy are central to your life and not just work. Maybe some of you here want to use your career success to uplift your family or your community or your audience. Maybe you want to empower others. Let's get some additional information here. We have Mushroom Touch, Decomposing Shame. So I feel like your dream life involves emotional liberation and freedom. This is you releasing shame and really stepping into a version of yourself that is free and unapologetic and authentic. This career path isn't just about money, but it's also about healing. Maybe some of you here are survivors of a difficult past and you turn your story into a platform that inspires and empowers others. Maybe you're someone who was once silenced, maybe culturally or in your family or by society, and now you have the platform to speak freely. Maybe some of you here want to use your career to normalize conversations around taboo topics, really breaking cycles of shame. Next, let's get a book divination. I'll have this linked for you below in the description if you feel called to check it out. What else does pile 4 need to know? Give them your love. Don't worry about buying the latest toys or gadgets for your children. Children don't need to have a lot of money spent on them. What they do need is priceless: your time, patience, comfort, and love. As long as you're giving your children these essentials, you are giving them everything they need. All that your children need is love, a grown-up to take responsibility for them, and a soft place to land. Deborah Harkness. Couple messages here. For those of you in this pile who are parents, I feel this strong call to let you know that you are doing enough. You are doing more than enough. You are doing much better than you actually are giving yourself credit for. This could also be a sign for you to give yourself love as well. I don't know if for those of you who aren't parents, maybe you are caregivers to other people in certain ways. Maybe this is about you in general, just giving yourself the same love that you give to other people as well, right? And self-love doesn't have to be expensive or pricey, right? It doesn't have to be, I know that I sound like a hypocrite right now, but like, doesn't have to be getting your nails done. It doesn't have to be going on a spa day, but like, it can be about you spending time with yourself, right? Your time, giving yourself patience, giving yourself love, giving yourself comfort. So I feel like self-love is going to be one of the biggest keys to lead you to your dream life, right? To lead you to the career satisfaction that you're looking for. Let's also roll some astro dice. Okay. We have Neptune in the 7th house. I feel like your dream career path will likely involve things like partnerships, creativity, things like spiritual service, or anything that you do to like inspire and uplift other people. Neptune as a planet brings the energy of intuition, of artistry, of things like compassion into your collaborations. And of course, the 7th house is the house of partnerships, committed partnerships, relationships, that kind of stuff. So I feel like you would be excellent at doing anything with creative collaboration, film, photography, music projects that are done with partners or teams where vision and imagination thrive. I'm also thinking about healing or spiritual work, so relationship counseling, energy work, spiritual guidance that really does help others find clarity and peace in their love and relationships or in their love and partnerships. I also see some of you here being in humanitarian or service-oriented ventures, things like nonprofits, social justice, things like community projects that really unite people for a shared cause. I think that you would be excellent at any one of these things. And yes, thank you so much, friends. Remember that your dream life isn't separate from your path. It's actually something that's being built step by step through the opportunities and the choices that you're stepping into now. Let me know which pile you chose and what resonated most in the comments. I love hearing your stories, friends. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who is in need of encouragement. And if you feel like going deeper, I've got my private readings, my online shop, and my podcast all linked for you below in the description of this video. I am so honored to be connected with each and every one of you friends here. I'm sending you lots of love. Thank you so much, Title Fam, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, friends. Love y'all.